Hello fellow guitar geeks, today we're taking a look at this, the AZN Prestige from Ibanez. It's an Ibanez Strat, even more so than the original AZ because this one is more vintage voiced and cut straight to the chase, I freaking love it. In the first line of Prestige AZs we had the Hyperion pickups, this one has got Seymour Duncan Fortuna pickups. That means this really could be the AZ for Fender Strat players. Now, I really fell in love with the original AZ, but sometimes the pickups were a little bit too high-powered, and Ibanez seemed to have rectified that with this. And I didn't even know that the original was too high-powered until I played this. So let's briefly run down the specs. We've got the humbucker, single, which is the Fortuna from Seymour Duncan. We've got a Goto bridge, and we've got 22 frets, a rosewood fretboard, stainless steel frets, and a roasted maple neck. Look at that cutaway there. Chrome hardware, we've got a compound radius neck from 12 to 16, the Prestige treated fret ends, which means they're beautiful, a bone nut. Another feature making this slightly more vintage is the non-recessed trem system, meaning that the trem plate, this bit, or the bridge plate, sorry, is in contact with the body, so we get more resonance, more contact, which of course means more tone, T-O-A-N. Back down here, we've got a 5-way switch to switch between the humbucker and the single coils, and then we've got what Ibanez call the alter switch, giving you a whole new combination of pickup configurations, which I will run through in a moment. It comes in 3 colors, antique, white blonde, black, and this, the Prussian Blue, which I think is absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful guitar to look at, it's a beautiful guitar to hold. I've been playing it a lot and not being able to put it down. I actually prefer it much more to my other Ibanez AZ, the original one, which now seems sadly collecting dust in a corner. And I've got to give this one back. So I've got to apologize to my original AZ and somehow make friends with it again. Let's quickly run through the pickup configuration on our 5-blade switch. And don't forget the alter little switch as well. When the alter switch is off, which is in the down position just there, this operates like a standard Strat 5-way. So on this side we've got the humbucker, then we've got this coil of the humbucker plus that one, then we've got just that one on its own, then we've got these two, and then that one. So that's a pretty standard Strat setup, and it gets more interesting when the alter switch is switched on. Let's run through the sounds with the alter switch off. At this stage, there is a lot that the certain company that begins with F, Fender, needs to be worried about because this is a kick-ass Strat-style guitar that has that stratiness, you know, that... Really, really beautiful, clear. I noticed that the humbucker is obviously more powerful than the other two pickups, but it's not overpowering. It's not suddenly jumping to, oh my god, I'm in humbucker mode. And it certainly is softer in the other two pickup modes, but quite loud in the 4th position. It's really enjoyable to play. As I was talking to Dan at Ibanez, and I said that I preferred the feel of this neck, and it is the compound radius. It does certainly feel more chordy down here, and then more able for sort of melodies and solos, should I ever feel the need to play a solo. But it's a professional guitar that, I want to say working musician's guitar, in the sense that it's one of those guitars that feels like it should be your only guitar that you need, because it does such this range of sounds, and we'll go into the other alter switch in a minute, but I just want to say that if I had one guitar at like a wedding band or something like this, or a covers band, and I needed a range of tones and I wanted to enjoy myself playing that guitar, and I didn't need to have Fender written on the headstock, then I'd be hard-pressed not to want to take this to every gig. It's beautiful. It's better than my other AZ, and that's really upsetting me. Okay, let's go the alter switch. Actually, before we get any further, can you do me a favour and press the thumbs up on this? Because that makes sure that other people get to see this video. So I know you want to hear the guitar, but before you do, or after you do, at some point during the video, if you liked it, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Cheers! This is going to take a bit of explaining, so don't think of them as sound samples, just me explaining how to access the different sounds. Let's do it! Let's switch on the alter switch. Oh my goodness, because in this mode, it does absolutely nothing. So regardless of whether that switch is up or down, you're going to get the same humbucker mode. Switch. So in the first position of the switch, the alter switch does nothing, which can lead to complications when you've forgotten if you've got it on or off, so there is a little responsibility on your part as the player. Let's switch it back on and go to position 2. With the alter switch on in position 2, we've got just this inner coil of the humbucker. So just to compare, turn it off. Turning it back on and sticking it in the middle. Now this is where things get interesting. This mode we've got the humbucker engaged, and these two are acting as a humbucker. So we've got two humbuckers. So we should sound quite big and fat. Now flipping it into the fourth position gives us these. That's the outer coil of the bridge humbucker and the neck pickup together. And that adds, it makes it thinner a little bit. So instead of getting these two, we're getting these two, which makes it a little thinner and a little bit more cutting. So let's turn it, let's leave it on and I'll play something. Off. So it's less full, it's thinner, and it's a bit more cutting when you have it engaged in that mode with the alter switch turned on. And finally, with this alter switch engaged, the fifth position has these two pickups as a humbucker. I'm fully convinced it does the nice, clean, vintagey, open-sounding Strat, but does it rock? So let's kick some Overdrive in and find out. This is the Angry Rhubarb from Redbeard Effects, and I've got it set with pre-drive and post-drive, so we've got a bit of a raucous sound, and it sounds like this. Turn it on. So it's quite bright. The pedal's quite bright actually, so I can adjust that by doing that. That's on the bridge as well. Let's try it on the neck. Yes, it does certainly rock. Let's try a little bit more high gain with the Wampler Ratsbane. Let's go back to the Angry Rhubarb and put it through the Marshall and see if we can get some kind of 80s tones. Yeah. Nice, that's with the humbucker. Oh no, yeah, that is with the humbucker. I forgot that the alter switch does nothing in the humbucker position, remember. Let's put it on the neck with the alter switch, which is giving us these two as a kind of neck humbucker. Let's see what that sounds like. That is a perfectly passable 80s sound. So that's just for the Angry Rhubarb going through the, hang on, wait. There we go, S320, the Marshall Plexi. I'm on into channel 2 actually, which I've never actually done before. This is new for me. So, yeah, Angry Rhubarb, love it, can't say it. Works really well on the humbucker. There's one thing I've noticed about the AZ, or let's give it its proper name, the AZ2204N in Prussian Blue, and that is that I can't really put it down. And what I mean by that is that it just wants to be played, regardless of the fact that it sounds very vintage and very clear and dynamic in the sense that the original AZ I have doesn't. It's just a beautiful guitar to play and a very comfortable guitar. So I like the way that it sits. Like in the way that a Jazzmaster sits nicely in the body, this one sits in nicer than a Fender Strat. But I haven't mentioned the most important part of the guitar, the smell. It's like a campfire on a mountaintop. It's like a Canadian bar mitzvah. It's like, oh man, I mean it's slightly permeated throughout the room, but when I took it out of the case, and it does come with a hard case by the way, it is absolutely just divine. So that's one of the most important features, is the smell. Oh goodness, that's it. I haven't sniffed this bit. So enough sniffing, more playing, and of course we'll talk price, but first, some more playing. That was the Tumnus with the Fender Deluxe Reverb, by the way. I do enjoy how slight the tremolo system is. So if I put some massive reverb on, there we go, bypass the trem, and whack up the Flint to mix quite high. put that somewhere back usable again. So there we go. So yeah, the tremolo is very touch sensitive. I have a very limited vocabulary to work with here, but bringing back in the angry rhubarb, there we go. I can go like this. And it stayed in tune. It's not a locking trem in any way. It's a standard Strat style trem. Yeah, it didn't go out of tune. That's interesting. One of the things about the AZ series and this roasted maple neck is the fact that you could, if you wanted to, leave it in the car overnight and then bring it in to the gig in the day, if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's one of the few guitars, not this one, but the AZ series generally. And I say AZ, not AZ, because that's what Ibanez call it, rather than call it the AZ, which I should do with my accent. The AZ series is rock solid with its tuning. The neck just doesn't go anywhere. You can take it to the hot gig and be under the lights and do the hot stuff and the sweaty things, and then put it in the car afterwards, and then bring it out next day to a rather tepid day, and it'll still be in tune. And that's something to do with the S-Tech treatment they do, and I don't know what that is, and I'm not sure if anyone does, maybe not even Ibanez themselves, but the way they roast this, the way they put it together is very, very intriguing, because whatever they do, if you need a guitar that stays in tune and you use from, you know, different, I don't know, from a wedding gig inside a church to a rock show outside on a hot stage with lights and things, consider the AZ. Maybe this one, maybe a different one, but consider the AZ series as a whole. And of course, we now have the AZS, the single-cut T-style Telecaster Ibanez AZ, which I assume will be coming to the channel at some point, and I look forward to it. Now, it would not be me if I didn't put on a Big Muff style fuzz and do some fuzzy riffing with it, which doesn't give you an indication of the tone of the guitar, but it does make me smile, and there's that. The fuzz du jour is the op-amp Big Muff from Electro Harmonics, and it sounds a bit like this. Get in noisy! Now, I often have conversations about the fact that you could put any guitar through a fuzz pedal and it will sound like the fuzz pedal. But the way the AZ plays, and I kind of agree with that, you can put like a $20 guitar through a fuzz pedal and it will sound wicked. But the AZ is so smooth to play and just, it is a professional guitar. And I said about the original AZ that I had that it was the best playing commercial guitar ever released up to that point. You know, it was my favorite commercial release guitar. Better setup than any Fender I played, better, differently sounded to a Gibson, you know, so it's a fatter sound with a general Gibson guitar when you put them in those categories. But putting this against the Fender American Professional 2 would be a very interesting video, and maybe I can bring that to you in the future. But currently, I think I would choose this over the American Professional 2 Fender, even though I love the Fender, and it's right there. Sorry! There's something about this, the roasted maple neck, the feel, which is actually fairly similar. I tell you what, let's do it now, shall we? I'll play a little bit of that one and see how that feels. Let's see if the tone is any similar. So, Fender American Strat Professional 2. Let's hear how it sounds in the 3rd position with a bit of funk. Sounds like I would expect that to sound. Let's try the AZ in the same position. Come on, baby. There we go. There's more attack, there's more picking noise there. So that's really quite... That somehow sounds more modern. Still vintage, but more modern, more output. Of course, I could back off the pickup a little bit. Let's come back to the Fender. I mean, what I will say, these are both excellent guitars. There's no doubting that. Come on. That's somehow thinner. I like it. I like both. The AZN doesn't quite do the Fender sound, but it does do a sound. I'll leave that up to you to decide which you prefer. I think I prefer the Strat, the actual Strat, for that tone. Let's do some sort of soft bluesy 4th positionness. Somehow the Ibanez sounds clearer, cleaner, thicker, like more output, and it is like a Strat with a little bit more balls to it, which is good, I guess. I'm also guessing that that's not the same setting as I had it on the Fender. I'm not sure if you can actually isolate just that 4th position. Let me find out. No, of course it is. Yeah, it is. That's it. I had it in the 4th position. Sorry. Sometimes extra switches confuse me, which I guess it's not a downside, but it's an extra learning part. At least, well, the way I think of it, if that's off, then that's a normal Strat sound. It's just HSS. Thanks. The more time I spend with this guitar, the more I like it, and that's exactly how I felt with the original AZ. And it's interesting to see that Ibanez have tried to convince those people that were on the fence about buying an AZ, those people that played Strat. So if that's one of you people, like, you want a really good Strat, and you kind of care that Fender's on the headstock, but not really. You know, maybe you're a gigging person or a studio person who really wants that guitar that performs. And while that is a fantastic Strat made by Fender, this is a more all-round, also fantastic sounding Strat by Ibanez. And if you're looking for something that is definitely very, very flexible and definitely reliable in the sense that, as I've mentioned already, you can take this from gig to gig, you can leave it hanging through temperature changes. It does not go out of tune. I've had this on the wall in the studio for a couple of weeks. I've been playing it in other videos, I've been playing it in my personal playing, and I've not really had to mess with the tuning at all, which is kind of insane. What I'm trying to say is that Ibanez have done a fantastic job with the AZ series. I haven't played the AZS yet, but I will be going to soon when I go to the guitar show in Italy, so I'm really looking forward to that. But I am very happy with the AZN, and I'm very sad to send it back to Ibanez. So at some point in the future, I'm going to try and figure out some kind of thing where I can sell my AZ and get one of these. So you know how much I love my original AZ. That's going to go because of this. On looks alone, I prefer this. Bottom line, this is an excellent guitar, at an excellent price. It is €2,000 or $2,000, so it is not an entry-level guitar, but if you are looking for something, that one guitar that you can take absolutely everywhere and give you a variety of tones with the humbucker in the bridge and the, what's it called, the alter switch, there we go. That's a weird name for a switch. The alter switch. This guitar can do it. And Ibanez, congratulations on, again, making the AZ series better, which I can't say I didn't think was possible, but they have done it. Well done. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of the video, which means you are in the end of the video club to prove that you are a member of this prestigious elite. When you leave your comment down below, and I hope that you do, please also include the phrase. That's not a phrase today. Let me know what you think AZN stands for. Could be Andy's zebra nuts. And that'll let me know that you made it this far. And also it could be an amusing thing to talk about. Let's finish off by saying thank you to Ibanez for sending out this. Thank you to Dr. Dan for being a mate. And I'm really glad to say that I like it. So if you want to see more Ibanez stuff or non-Ibanez stuff, then there's some videos over here, so you can watch those. But before you do, please give the video a thumbs up. That lets more people see it and, you know, eats away at that YouTube algorithm. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye!